How did we meet?
You can go over us.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jeremy and I, we've known each other since we were, like, 14.
Yeah, and we were in junior high school.
Junior high, yeah. Junior high school, and started recording some little tracks on little tape cassette recorder.
Yeah,
you know?
It wasn't even like a 4-track recorder, right? It was just like a recorder.
Yeah. And we would, like, use, like, you know, real tapes and put a piece of tape over it so that you could record over it.
Yeah. We took the Bible, the Holy Bible, the New Testament on tape and recorded rock songs over it.
Oh, yeah.
Cheesy rock songs about, like, fast food and stupid shit because we were, like, 14.
You know, 14, yeah. But, well, then you guys know each other.
Yeah, we met because we were both playing on the Bakersfield circuit at the same time. I was in a band called My Retarded Self or something like that. And we opened up for Midnight Panic, and Marky kind of came off as a cocky asshole, so I sort of hated him for a long time because of it.
Yeah, so you know, it's just crazy how, you know, fate works out and stuff. But we're on Facebook, you know, the magical social revolution that has happened. But I tell you what, this is a success story of that technology. So I make a comment about a picture, and Germ comes in on it and talks about that notorious, or infamous, I should say, day. And I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, whatever I said, you know, I was a different person then. I apologize, you know, we should jam sometime. I just threw it out there, you know, because I've been looking all over for a music outlet and have been just have failed miserably trying to find anybody to jam with. So it's like, yeah, how about a week from now? Yeah, that sounds great. And I get a text back, hey, what's up for today?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you know, I'm down. I'm gonna go take a freaking trip to Tehachapi with some people that I don't even know.
Boom. And, like 20 minutes later, it's like a 40-minute drive. Or 20 minutes later, we get over there. What's up, dude?
Yeah, it was definitely exciting.
That was cool.
And then to step through the door and hear DV8, it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind, and I was like, I want to be a part of this. If it's just guesting on it or just, you know, getting in on the creative side of things, you know, all of us, we all play every instrument. We're programmers. We're definitely huge fans of electronic music mixed with what we grew up on, hard rock. You know, we're from Bakersfield, Tehachapi. We're the pit of heavy metal, of modern day heavy metal.
Like the rebirth of it.
Yes. Yeah. So we can't help but have that influence. But what I thought was so beautiful and fate have it that I met some gentlemen that not only are just students of the game, but were also interested in the aspirations that I shared with them, which is to use every instrument available to you. Why not? You
every
end up
resource.
making something beautiful, right?
Even sometimes not instruments, just like things.
Anything.
Noises.
And they're
trash cans.
Seriously, they're the only people that I've met in 6 years that can agree with me on that. And so, you know, like, we started working on some stuff and it just gelled, and now I'm happy to say I'm an official member of the DV8 crew, baby.
Weird.
Alright, how would you guys describe your sound?
It's so many different things like put together, I don't know.
Well, we deviate from the norm, from music, I mean, whatever. We're all inclusive. And
I was trying to find something new and unusual in music, something that like keeps the
whatever sounds good.
The excitement.
Exactly. We're not gonna shoot any ideas down because you could like kill a song that way possibly by doing that. And you know, from my past, I've learned that communication is the #1 like must in what we're trying to do here. You have to learn how to speak to each other, and so that you can get to the language of the music. It doesn't work any other way. What do you guys think? I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
it's like if you can't talk about it. And also we have the still heart policy, meaning I could bust something and then go, Marky, that straight sucked. And it's just going to get thrown out the window and I'm going to take another shot at it. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to be all, you didn't like my part. I'm taking my pad and I'm going home. You know, so I was glad to work with gentlemen that had that same feeling. Like I can criticize and not feel like I'm going to, you know, start a fight with my friends. At the end of the day, they're my buddies. Like they know I got love for them. It's nothing personal, but we wanna push each other to make the best sounding music possible. And I think to further go along with describing the music is I think it's like a total soundtrack to life. It goes up, it goes down, it thrashes, it rains, it turns the day, it turns night. And I think that's how I would describe our music.
Yeah. Not everyone's life is just all punk rock all the way. You know, I mean, I guess there maybe is one or two people that
or metal or something.
Or metal,
like that,
you know, or
whatever.
I'm nothing but hip hop. You know.
Yeah.
But there are people like that. But we like to include everything, and we don't really discriminate against.
It's like a broad
music.
emotional spectrum, and I try to cover that whole broad emotional spectrum with music instead of just certain aspects of it.
Yeah, Germ's synth playing and that, like when I first heard it, it really, like, it was like barriers for me for so long to try to find somebody, because what he does is special. There's only a handful of people in the country that can create and think the way this guy does. And
he is a genius, I gotta say.
He is, he really is. And
I'm incredibly special.
Yeah, very special.
Short
guy.
bus special.
But it's brought me out of hibernation. I felt like I was in a divorce with music, and so now I'm alive. Like I'm feeling all these tracks, and there's like stuff that they've already created that I'm gonna be lucky enough to put some of my flow on. And we've only been jamming now for 3 days, and we already have what 2.5.
We have
almost
3
tracks.
Yeah,
3.5 songs.
3.5.
And they're pretty hot. You know, and it's like I'm not one to like toot my own horn.
Especially that half a song. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that one half a song.
That half just really brings it. Yeah. So.
How would you describe your recording process of what goes into it?
We try to keep it as open as possible and organic as possible. Just like what happens is what happens. And if anyone has any idea, they do that.
I describe it like family. It's like since I've been here at the studio, there's a family vibe here. You know, like Germ's old lady, she's way cool. You know, it's like having
the den mother.
Having
the den mother.
Yeah, the den mother, but having that female aura in the room, it helps. It really does, because it gives, like when I was describing our music as being the soundtrack of life, having that, having a woman's aura in the midst of the chaos that we're trying to make a song, it gives it that full feel that we all need. And so there's a really relaxed feel here. There's like cooking going on, camaraderie, a little bit of drinking here and there.
A little bit of drinking.
You know, but it's definitely...
But only a little bit.
It's definitely what I would say and describe as the best production lab that us boys could put together for the means and what we're doing right now. This is like... the energy in here is like out of 10. It's like there's no bad vibes, because I personally believe in energy. I believe that every spot on the earth has its energies, and a lot of those places are keeping people in our generation and all up and down in bad places because they don't understand that they're in an area that's just not good
It's
energy
giving them
for
the
them.
wrong vibes and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So here in our space, there's a lot of laughing, a lot of living, a lot of fellowship, and then we just start picking up our instruments and going buck ass wow.
Well, yeah, and that's how the process is just having fun first, and really it's not really even about the music. It's about us just being together and getting along. And I mean, sometimes we'll start throwing just an acoustic song.
Yeah.
You know, I would just come up with an idea on the acoustic guitar, and I'll just be like, hey, that's a cool little riff. And
more often than not, it seems like our songs start that way. We'll start with an acoustic guitar or a piano. And like create a melody, and then like add all of our weirdness on top of that. And we start like with a core.
Bells and whistles, oohs and ahs.
Yeah. There you go.
Alright, well that takes us to what kind of equipment do you use?
Apple computers are God's gift to music.
Absolutely, I second that. And we will make instruments. In fact, we love to sample, and you can get any kind of organic sound, noises. You can create sounds.
Reason and Recycle are big tools that I like to use.
Yeah.
Reason and Recycle for like the synths and drum programming and stuff. I like Recycle because I can sample any sort of sound and then put it onto a MIDI controller and either play it out like drums or like make weird
I use this
melody.
really cool instrument, and it's half Mexican and half Scottish. and you can't buy it at any store. It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I try to use that a lot, right?
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, hey, wait.
I have to mention also in the tools that we use and stuff, Parker guitars.
Yes.
Parker, if you're looking to sponsor us, this is the guy.
I really need a Dragonfly, yellow Dragonfly with a Roland built into it. I need that. As soon as you can send it, it'll be cool. You know, I'm patient, so I can wait. But
trust me, there was gonna be all kinds of kids seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Amazing guitars.
Parker, I really like M Audio gear a lot too. So props to M Audio for making awesome MIDI controllers. They're fantastic.
And I like Boss pedals myself.
Yeah, he uses the Boss.
Joel likes the Boss.
The Boss DE50 or something.
Yeah.
It's an
we'll show you some of the equipment.
Yeah.
Where would you say you draw your inspiration from?
Just go down the line. We'll start with Mike.
Okay, like inspiration for me. My 9-year-old son, he has kept my faith in humanity. As I watch him grow, and you see that look of like wonder and awe in simple things, the discovery of that is where I try to push myself to become almost childlike when I get into the recording studio and work with these gentlemen. Like, to keep that innocence there, because when you're keeping yourself open to that, there's going to be things that come at you that you never would have gotten had you come in thinking you knew it all or you know it all. So I always want to be a student of the game and try to ask them what they're feeling and get it into words, and then they start doing it physically on their gear, and then I start getting a sense of that, and take it back further on a musical level. Like bands like 9 Inch Nails helped me when I was 15 years old and had no friends and was alone, and listening to him sing, it was like he was singing to me. He was singing my anthems. And same thing goes for like a man like Kurt Cobain. I just was really enthralled with how he had the freedom to tell the world that, hey, there's some messed up things going on in my life. Here it is. So that influenced me and like inspired me. And then, just a quick few names too. Stone Temple Pilots had a big influence on me. And bands like Massive Attack really sparked my electronic love. And so that's kind of where I draw inspiration from. Once again, back to that thing, life, and the energy of everything in it. And that even goes for the pain. Last night we were talking about the difference of emotion. You have to have pain to be elated and have pleasure and pure joy.
Yeah, it's that contrast.
Yeah, it's that dichotomy of that. And so we want to, some of our music is described as dark at times, but you have to listen to our poetry in there, because our message is letting you know that it's okay, that it's going to be all right.
Yeah, I feel the same way, exactly. I mean, inspiration comes from everyday life, your everyday experiences. And even if I haven't had an experience, I know a lot of people that have gone through some tough times, you know. And these guys for sure, you know. I mean, I have too, but I don't really like to talk about myself too much. But you know, I love all kinds of music. Growing up in the early '80s, I mean, I was listening to Run DMC, Beastie Boys. I mean, all that shit fucking was cool, you know. Like,
oh yeah.
And then when I actually later, my first CD that I actually had was Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and I heard I Could Have Lied, and that got me wanting to play acoustic guitar. And I was like, I mean, I get goosebumps like right now just, you know, thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, them, Sublime, definitely Nine Inch Nails. I mean, it goes all over. I mean, Tool.
Yeah, we have to talk about
Nirvana. Fucking, there's a lot. There's a lot there.
We have to talk about Sublime for sure, because he's got a lot of influence from Sublime, which I love it because not many people can do it like this guy can do it, and he does it with flavor. And for me, that's something I didn't mention was the Sublime tip. Like, talk about throwing in samples and loops, and he did all of that stuff in a really cool way, and the lyrics were special. So I just wanted to point that out for a second, because that's definitely a influence in our music. It's an undertone.
Yeah.
It really is with our duels, because, you know, having two lead singers, it's like, yeah, it's special. I'm so excited about this new record. This is gonna be,
what are your influences?
Yeah, what's up? What do you think?
Like, I've always loved music, like anyone who's a normal person loves music, but I didn't really like get like really into it, like the idea of like playing music and stuff until when I heard New Wave for the first time. I was really young, I don't even know, like 10, something like that. I started hearing bands like Depeche Mode and this stuff coming out. I heard like samplers and synthesizers, and that's when I got into it. Like Joel, like he loved that acoustic and he started playing that, but with me it was like synthesizers, and samplers and sequencers, like all this technology could make like so many, you know, like otherworldly, unusual sounds.
Yeah.
And, like later, it like developed from like New Wave. I started hearing bands like Nine Inch Nails and like Skinny Puppy, and and then like the goth stuff like Bauhaus and Sisters of Mercy and stuff really hit me because of those like really dark tones. Like it connected with me because I went through a lot of crazy, damaging shit as like a youngster, so that dark tone like made sense.
That's a therapy.
Yeah.
It's like a soundtrack for therapy.
Yeah, I can take this like misery that I feel that was like making just like destruction in my life and turn it into something really positive.
Yeah. David Bowie. That's another common denominator.
Yeah.
Bowie.
Ziggy Stardust. I love you.
Yes.
He's just like
incredible.
The musical chameleon or whatever.
He's really the one that started it all. I mean, in my opinion.
I love his style. I love like all the different styles. The guy was just an innovator as far as his look.
Yeah, he's constantly ahead of the curve. He was glam rock before there was glam rock. He was new wave before there was new wave. He even got into like jungle and drum and bass with albums like Outside and Earthling and stuff like that.
That's right. He's incredible. Game changer. You know, and so we like that, and we respect those people so much. But what's cool about this band is that even as big of fans as we are of the artist's name, we're definitely doing our own thing, so we won't try to be any one of those bands. That's why I'm really anticipating showing all of you what we got, and I really think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to be surprised, you know, coming from my past, you know, with edema and that stuff being in my past. This to me is like a redemption. This is like I'm grown. I've learned a lot. I finally met the right band. No disrespect to Edema, that was a great part of my life. You know, all respect to those guys, but for my life now and my musical visions, this band is definitely going to not only assist, but just help me win the war. And the war I'm talking about is I want to make a record where my smile is just from ear to ear, because I know I put everything into it, and we all did that together, and we all can be proud of it because it will be good, because that's how dedicated we are to our craft.
Well, you guys kind of answered my next question already, which was who are some of your influences, past and present. But
We can go for it.
Oh yeah, not really, because actually for me it all started out really with Bob Marley, Bob Dylan. I mean, like I was listening to reggae and like, you know, old classic rock, you know, folk music, you know, like I was listening to the early stuff, and I was raised actually on country and classic rock.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
You know, I mean, yeah, it's like that's really the stuff.
James Taylor.
James Taylor. Oh, the original JT.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, man.
You know,
I mean,
all that stuff was going on.
Yeah.
In my home too. Like I come from a family of performers and stuff. So like he was
That's
saying,
really cool.
you know, like shoot, James Brown, James Taylor, Mamas and Papas, Fleetwood Mac, Neil Diamond. Shoot, help me out.
Neil
guys.
Diamond, I want to party with you, man.
First ever, I was 2 years old, and the first song I ever danced to, Devo, Whip It.
All right.
I love Devo. Okay, so
Dude,
these
their
are-
cover of Satisfaction is amazing.
Yes, it is awesome. And
in the mid 90s, it was like 95, 97, somewhere around there, I caught wind of the Bristol movement in the UK, like Massive Attack, Tricky, and Portishead, even like Bjork kind of got in on that sound and stuff. That shit like hit me hard. I was
Me
like, this
too.
is
Yeah, I was
this
listening
is
to Bjork in
amazing.
high school.
It still like affects me.
those were the things that say I spent like an hour and a half listening to like Smashing Pumpkins and like
Smashing
some-
Pumpkins wrote like epic rock songs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
Say I listened to that though, and then I went into some like STP.
Yeah.
Well, then what I would do was like the bands that you just named. That's what I ended my night with to calm myself down
Yeah.
and to get. I would get really like introspective about thoughts in my mind. That music helped me to kind of do self-inventory about myself.
Yeah, definitely.
And
the
that's
same.
what I liked that music made me feel, and that's what led me to want to create what we are now embarking on. You know, it's like I'm not a little boy wanting to try to just, you know, rock the show and just go and party and fall down and go, where am I? Like I want to, I really like, we have some pretty grandiosity experiments planned. I mean, we've got, you see this art here.
Yeah.
Germ is an amazing artist. I mean, we plan on incorporating art and theater and as much production into our show as possible, because I want to give our fans a true show, and we're going to
like
give
a
you
full
our
experience, like a.
all. Yes.
Comic book. That's what we got.
We're working on a comic book. We already have one issue out on our
Yep.
website actually right now.
That's great, and I have, like I said, I'm the newbie, so I haven't been in on that yet, but I can't wait to start, you know, throwing input there. This is
gonna be badass.
This is like a dream come true for me. Thank you guys seriously for having me.
Yeah.
I'm down. This my
Okay.
band. This is the ditty. It's the real deal.
So this is like old school MTV status right here. You're stranded on a desert island. What 3 albums do you take with you to keep your sanity?
That's tough.
All right, I'm
That
gonna go
is so
first.
tough. Yeah.
All right, yeah, go first.
All right. The Downward Spiral. It's one of the like greatest like produced albums ever, with like amazing fucking songwriting. It's an awesome album. There's so much to it. There's so many sounds. It's like so in depth. It's like you can just listen to it forever, and like every time you hear it, it seems like you hear like a new sound or something. I love that.
So there goes one of mine too. So we have a match there.
Yeah.
That's one of mine.
Well, if I was picking Nine Inch Nails, I'd definitely pick The Fragile would be mine.
Joel's.
Because you get 2 discs in one. Come on.
Nice. I like that train
They
of
have
thought.
incredible songs on there too. That what is that one song called? That was on the 300 soundtrack. It's like so beautiful.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's a good one. I know which one you're
Oh
talking about.
yeah. Oh man, I know it's gonna.
I keep thinking The Pilgrimage, but I know it's a different song. But my second album would be Outside from David Bowie. That's like when Trent and Liam from The Prodigy started getting like involved in his production and stuff. He started messing with like a lot of new sounds that were sounds that I liked, very industrial sounding things, drum and bass kind of stuff, and it was really experimental. And there's a lot of like really beautiful, well-written songs on it. It's just an awesome album that I've always really connected with. And the third album Dude, it's so hard because I know the third one would have to be a Pink Floyd one, and that's why I was saving for third because I don't know what album. Maybe Animals. Dark Side is awesome. I love Animals though. There was like a period of my life where like I listened to Animals so much, and I like really connected with the songs, and I really loved it. I just like the tone of that album. It was grittier and like darker sounding, and I don't know. I like that album.
My strong number 2 would definitely be Sublime, the self-titled album.
Okay.
That, you know, I love that one because that was actually the first one that I heard. You know, unfortunately, when I heard of Sublime, you know, Bradley already passed away. You know.
Wow.
And so I never really, you know, got a chance to really see them in concert. You know, although later on in life, you know, I did meet Bud Goff, and he was cool, and we toured with him in my previous band, Harmonic Prophecy, which you know, those guys, you know, I love them to death, you know, and I still want to do music with them in the future, maybe sometime, but this is where it's at. It's the DV8RZ, man. It's the DV8RZ.
That's sweet.
Oh yeah, what's your second album?
A second one for me, and like it's like Jerm was saying, this is so difficult, but I'd have to say that Stone Temple Pilots' Purple. It just has a great flow to it. I love the lyrics. It puts me in just a solid mood, and it's just it just reminds me of a really special time in my childhood. Number 3, oh gosh, I just had it on the tip of my tongue too. That I would definitely, absolutely have to have would be, oh gosh, the Beatles' White Album.
Ooh.
That's
Good
just
call.
I mean,
Good call.
you know, that's just sing along. I mean, you just sing every, you know, every note, you know, every song, and it's just super special. A 4th record would
You
be.
can only have 3.
Oh, only 3.
Oh, only
I
three.
thought- I
Well,
thought
my third would be Bob Marley Legend, you know, because who doesn't have that album, you know? I mean, everyone's got that album, you know. Like,
Well, I'm gonna break the rules and throw a 4.
Okay.
I would have to have U2's Greatest Hits.
Oh, weird.
They're one of my favorite all-time bands.
Love you too.
I know, I get teased a lot about the U2 thing. A lot of people don't care for U2. I love them.
Me too.
There's just so many different tracks that have helped me get through different things, and they've been able to adapt and change so much. And I love the fact that they were brave enough to start doing electronics in rock and roll music.
I can say I love the Edge, and I want your pedal board.
Yeah, exactly.
And the guys that work it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way of going to our next one, which is who does what in the band and what does each member contribute?
Well, I play a little bit of guitar, a little bit of keyboard, not really. I mean, this is after that, you know.
But we're all songwriters.
We're all songwriters, you know, and we all sing too. You
Lead
know?
singer,
Yeah.
I sing great back
Lead
Our new singer.
also sings.
And he sings, yeah. So I mean, we all contribute, you know, pretty much everything. But this guy is definitely the
in the studio.
production manager, you know.
Yeah.
I do all the production in the studio or whatever.
Mixing
kind of a
down.
musical chair. It's like whoever has an idea for something, they do it. But for the most part, it's like the programming and synthesizers and stuff like that. I take care of the majority of that.
Yeah, that's
And-
definitely. He's a producer.
And we got the
on that side of
vocalist
it.
Marky from time to time since his like induction. He's been playing guitar and like writing some really interesting guitar riffs that I wouldn't have thought of myself. So that's cool. And Joel's been doing guitar. He does a lot of synth. He loves the synth bass.
Love that synth bass. Crazy, bro.
But yeah, it's open as open as possible. But I focus on like the electronic aspects of things whenever you know they're rocking out on the guitars and singing and stuff.
And there's two members right now that aren't here.
Yeah.
We got a bass player and a drummer, and I mean they contribute a lot.
My
too.
drummer Randy Lyons, my brother, he shares a lot of like musical sympathy, similarities with Marky. I think is where it's like their background, you know, loving like Stone Temple Pilots and you know that whole like '90s alt rock sort of like thing. Like they share a lot of similarities there.
Yeah. we
Kevin.
definitely do.
So basically no one member does one thing. They all kind of wear
Yeah.
different hats.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
we're just man. It's
We
just like
think-
whatever works,
yeah,
whatever's
we
the most
think-
organic
Yeah.
when we're working on
I
a
think
song.
that's what's gonna be the recipe for a song.
Absolutely. Everyone has to
If
contribute.
you go in thinking like, all right, I'm the drummer,
Yeah.
I do the drums,
Or
this dude does this,
Here's
and this
this
dude
song,
does this, then
and
you're
gonna
stuck
play
there.
it like this.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
boxing yourself in. You can still
Stagnant.
make amazing music. There's a
Yeah.
lot of bands that have that formula that make amazing music, but whenever you keep it open up like this,
I find it gets stagnant. You know.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
You try to do it like, okay, I write the songs, you write the singing.
Yeah.
And it creates a stagnant feeling, and then people's feelings get hurt, and it's just easier to just, if you give somebody a chance, even if they don't come with the part, they still were able to get out what they were trying to see, and then it usually sparks one of us to see what they were going for and executing it. And
yeah,
then
like, there's been times where Joel came to me with like a song. He's like got this guitar part and he's singing and it sounds great, but I'm thinking like, I'll try the guitar part this way and see how it works out. And sometimes, that's what works.
Yeah.
Like.
And it's something that like I never thought about before.
Yeah.
These guys will think of.
And it was
It's
just
really great.
It was just great these last 2 days, because it was really kind of a test run to see if our voices were gonna work. I was really like nervous about it, because like I've never been in a two lead singer band, and it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
it
really
sounds
excited.
great so far. I'm really stoked.
I'm
on it.
excited about the Depeche Mode song that we just
Yeah.
recorded.
That cover was incredible.
Yeah, that's
It's like Marky and Joel's voices are so different, but whenever you put them together, it's just like amazing things happen there.
I'm more of a low
great.
tone, like baritone bass, and he's more of a tenor.
And the
Yeah.
musical background affects like the way you guys sing and stuff, your styles and stuff. Like you have totally different musical backgrounds.
Exactly. So it makes this like
Yeah.
crazy. It's like a friction that is really good.
It's really like the only way you can make anything fresh anymore. Like music has been around so long, even just rock and roll music has been around so long that it's like hard to come up with anything new. But whenever you take these two different people from two different sides of the spectrum, put them
It's
together,
DV8.
you come up with something that's different.
DV8.
Yeah.
Alright, so what have you guys learned in your previous bands that influenced how you do your business today as far as writing, performing, all of that?
I think, I've been in the music industry now for about 12 years, and what I think that I bring to this new band is that I've been through the ringer as far as like going through record deals and touring and kind of seeing how all that works, and I think I can help as far as like, hey, you guys, this can happen with this, that, and the other thing. And they're also intelligent people, so it's easy to talk to them. What I'm most excited about now is that with the music industry, the state of affairs that it's in right now, is it's wide open and for the taking. And that's why I'm so excited right now, because I know what we're doing is really fresh and it's clean and new, and that's what people are looking for. So I think me bringing that experience in and being able to share that with the guys, we can really get together and form an attack plan of how we're going to do it and keep control of our business, and not let like outside influences get into this more harmonious thing that we have here. Because even though we're in a very small town and we're not in some $1 million studio, we don't need that, and we don't need those people around us, because we can do it ourselves. We're going to do it ourselves, and that's what I plan on trying to influence the band with, is keeping it small and keeping it in-house, keeping it DV8, no one else.
We've had that DIY spirit from the get-go. Like,
Yeah.
we want to do everything ourselves as much as possible, so we know it's staying like true to our vision.
Like,
It's like as real as possible.
in the bands that I was in the past, there's always been some sort of like really drug problem, and it's like we've all learned from our past mistakes, and we're not gonna let that ruin us. We're not even gonna go there with that. But
we've been there. We
we've
don't
been
need to
there,
go
done
there
that,
again.
so in my experience, it gets me nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in bands where we can't rely on a drummer, we can't rely on a bass player, we can't rely on another singer, we can't rely on this guy, that guy. Everyone has got some sort of drug issue or girl problems. I mean, I've already dealt with all that shit, so I know
Me too.
not to let that get in the way. I'm on to bigger and better things, and I'm not about
our lives are good. Yeah. Why do we want to take, you know, drugs or something and smash ourselves down? Because that's all it's gonna do. I mean, I'm a recovering addict, and I'm here to tell you, I'm happy. I'm alive today, and I have new friends and a new band because I chose to stop hurting myself. And you know, and these guys that help me with the sobriety every day, just to wake up and see like your fellow bandmate like wake up with a smile, and we're making coffee and making small talk, and you know, we're sharing our dreams and aspirations, and that's what life's about. Really, what more can I ask for? Like, that is honestly the, you know, man's pursuit of happiness, especially in America, is the dream, right? And so we have the dream, and we're working on it now, and it's like it's just beginning. Like we were talking about earlier, we just finished "It's No Good" by Depeche Mode. It's an amazing cover. I just can't stress how great it came out. We wrote another track that just came out of nowhere right after finishing that track. We started bouncing.
It wasn't even the song we sat down to record. You had a riff, and we sat down and started playing. You started playing something entirely different.
Yeah.
Like, you deviated. Entirely came out.
We deviated from the plan, and then another song came, and then I already sang the chorus hook, and then Joel just started busting verses, and like it's off the hook.
I got a lot of hip hop influence, so I do like to kind of have a lyrical flow to it. You know, not necessarily rapping, but you know, like just
hip hop has been a big influence on me too, because I loved electronic music, and it's essentially like was made the same way.
Nice.
The Wu-Tang Clan,
808.
They did it for me. Like I heard all kinds of hip hop, and I'm like, that's interesting. But then I heard Wu-Tang Clan, and I was just like, that is awesome.
Yeah, I got to tour with Redman in my past, and that guy's just a really cool guy, you know, straight up New York. Those people out there are just very blunt, and they just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So I have that hip-hop influence as well. I always partied to it, and as a kid to it, and just bounced to it. That's the other thing about our music that we like. We want people bobbing their heads and moving. And like we want to get the women dancing, like that's, you know, that's crucial, that's vital, that's our part of our like goal, is to make the music so funky, so undeniable, and you know, make people want to move to it.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I've learned from talking about like our experiences from previous bands and what we've learned and stuff, I've learned communication is incredibly vital. You kind of touched on that a little bit, but in bands that I was in the past and stuff, like there's an issue bothering someone, whether it's personal or it has something to do with one of the other band members or the song or something like that. If you keep it like bottled in, months down the road, whatever years down the road, it's eventually going to explode in someone's face, and that's never good. So you gotta keep communication going so you can keep that camaraderie and make sure that everyone's just like gelling properly and everyone's satisfied with what we're doing.
For sure.
So yeah, communication is definitely very important.
Oh yeah.
Right, so what are your guys' plans for the future? Like, what are some of your short-term and long-term goals for this project?
Early retirement.
Early retirement.
I think the short term is for us to, well, we have to revisit some DV8 songs, see what I'm going to bring to the plate on those, because there's obviously some great stuff there. And then we're also going to start mashing it up and writing as many tunes as we can, and then just, I think, weed out the songs that aren't going to make the record and put a record out. And like I said, this beautiful art, we've got some stuff that's going to come. We're going to put together some really nice merch that, you know, you might not even be into the band, but you're going to like the shirt, because we've got a great artist on our hands, and there's going to be some really cool stuff coming from DV8 Productions.
Yeah, I mean, we have we're working on the comic book, and we want to pursue that further and like continue on with it and get that story out there and get a graphic novel together. We plan on making a movie, like an independent film, because I'm a huge fan of horror movies, especially movies like Evil Dead and stuff like that. So I've always wanted to make a movie. So we're gonna make our little movie and make a soundtrack for it. And once we get to the point where our album's out and we have our comic and our merch and our movie and all that stuff, we're just gonna just tour around and show it to everyone and see who likes it.
Yeah, tour. Once we get the once that sucker's mastered and printed, it's gonna be on. We're going. I can't wait because I've already been around this world 100 million times, but to do it with my new brothers, dude, that's just gonna be like, I'm gonna be loving it. Going, okay, you guys, wait till we go to this town. I'm gonna show you this or that. You know, it's just gonna be a great thing, and it's gonna be a family vibe. You know, that's what I want to make sure that we always hold on to, is that we keep the band family, because it's like that's all you got when you're out there, and it can get lonely, and so you got to look to your brothers for that support, and like you said, the communication.
Yeah, we've talked about that too. We were saying like what's like first and foremost is like the friendship and the camaraderie. We're together and having a good time, and we make music while we're doing that. You know? But the main thing is just like having friends and having tight friends that you enjoy being around. The music is just like what we do when we're being friends.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
That's it.
Rock and roll.
All right.